All right, so I just bought the cheapest iPhone 16 and the most expensive iPhone 16. Let's see which one is worth your money. So as you guys know, the iPhone 16e is the latest and not really the greatest, but the cheapest iPhone 16 you can buy. And there is a lot of mixed reviews about this phone. Me personally, I tried this phone out switching from my iPhone 16 Pro, which is the second most expensive iPhone 16. And I actually did enjoy it, but there are some things that I just kind of missed on my iPhone 16 Pro that's not on the iPhone 16e. Currently, I am using the iPhone 16 Pro, so I do have those Pro features, but obviously in the smaller form factor, and it's not the most expensive iPhone 16. So, for me personally, this is a new experience for both these phones. So just to let you guys know, these are brand new. I literally just bought these pretty much at the same exact time to test these phones out because they're literally the most expensive iPhone 16 and the cheapest iPhone 16. So I really wanted to see, is the iPhone 16 Pro Max double the cost of the iPhone 16e? The first thing I want to talk about is holding the device and pretty much using it on a day-to-day basis. So for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, I really did like this phone. Coming from a Pro phone, going to a bigger kind of Pro phone with the larger screen, I really did like that. And of course, I still have the same Pro features like the Pro Motion, the Dynamic Island, and all the features of the Pro model phone. But it is bigger to hold in the hand. Obviously, it's the biggest phone that you can buy, the biggest iPhone you can buy. Using it on a day-to-day basis, using it especially one-handed, that's the key thing, is one-handed. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is a little bit too big for me personally on a day-to-day basis. Holding it with two hands is not a problem, obviously, but just going back to the one-handed use, it just feels kind of awkward, a little bit bulky to use every single day. The screen size on the iPhone 16e is 6.1 inches. I do like that. I do like holding a smaller kind of phone on a day-to-day basis, using it one-handed. That is just kind of my style. That's just kind of how I use my phone. So I did like holding the iPhone 16e. It felt very, very nice in the hand. There is another thing though, the edges. So this is built a little bit differently. The body is built a little bit differently. Obviously, this is aluminum. The iPhone 16 Pro is titanium, but the sides of the phone are not as comfortable to hold. They are sharper, and this is kind of bringing back the iPhone 13, iPhone 14 design. With the iPhone 16e, it kind of cuts into your fingers a little bit. Not really too big of an issue for me personally. I do rock my phone caseless most of the time. Sometimes I do put a case on it. Most people, of course, are gonna have cases, so it's not really something to even think about, but that's just for me personally. My personal experience using the iPhone 16e. Another thing people have on their phone are screen protectors, and these are matte screen protectors from Tac. As you guys can see, they are anti-glare, aka matte texture. So basically it gives you a whole other experience while using your phone. It's just super satisfying to swipe and touch the screen versus like a glossy screen protector or no screen protector at all. They're available for pretty much any iPhone that you have, including the iPhone 16 Pro Max, iPhone 16 Pro, all the iPhone 16s, even the iPhone 16e. So if you guys want to check them out, I'll leave a link down in the description below where you guys can see pretty much how these look and feel. Now for the display, obviously the iPhone 16 Pro Max has 120 Hertz versus the iPhone 16e is only 60 Hertz, which for me personally, I notice these super small details. Having that 120 Hertz is a game changer for me personally. It just feels a lot more buttery smooth than the 60 Hertz on the base model iPhones, especially the iPhone 16e. So now the next thing is the Dynamic Island. Now for me personally, I really do like that feature. It is a really, really cool and useful feature. But for me, I didn't even really notice it was gone when I went to the iPhone 16e with, of course, that kind of notch kind of design. Again, back to the iPhone 13, iPhone 14 kind of body design. The notch, honestly, not really a huge deal. I really thought that was going to be like, I was going to notice that a lot more. I was going to be like having to readjust my eyes. But honestly, it wasn't a really big deal to go from a dynamic island to a non-dynamic island iPhone. Now, as you guys know, the iPhone 16 Pro series is the thinnest bezels of all time on any iPhone. And when I went to the iPhone 16e, it is like double the bezels on the iPhone 16e. And that is something that I noticed pretty much immediately when I started using the phone. Of course, I got used to it pretty fast, but that is just something that I was like, doesn't really look as clean as the iPhone 16 Pro. But again, it doesn't really change the top features, top usage of using the iPhone 16 or pretty much any iPhone in general. It just pretty much makes it look a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer, a little bit more screen real estate. But honestly, I got used to it pretty fast. All right, and the battery life. Honestly, I was blown away with both of these iPhones. Now, like I said, I daily the iPhone 16 Pro, so both these devices are new to me. And when I try the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the battery life on this phone is absolutely insane. If I was a traveler or needed the extra battery life and didn't want to charge up all the time, Obviously, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is the best phone for that. It has the best battery life that I've ever tested on an iPhone. It's just incredible. I think it's 33 hours of screen on time, which is insane. Now for the iPhone 16e, it actually has a very, very good battery as well. Honestly, I was very surprised. That's like one of the top features I was surprised about on the iPhone 16e is the battery life. The battery life on the iPhone 16e is pretty much exactly the same on the iPhone 16 Pro, just the regular 16 Pro. So that's my daily phone. And I kind of noticed that the iPhone 16e's battery life was a little bit better, even though on paper it's not as good as the iPhone 16 Pro. And because the iPhone 16e does not have that 120 hertz, I feel like it's a little bit more efficient, and it kind of seemed like the iPhone 16e had better battery life than my iPhone 16 Pro on a day-to-day basis. All right, and now the elephant in the room, MagSafe. Now, obviously, this is using the internal magnets. It doesn't have MagSafe. It looks like it does, but it doesn't, unless they ship mine with MagSafe. But yeah, it doesn't have MagSafe on it. And of course, the iPhone 16 Pro Max does. Okay, so for me personally, I do use a wallet that has MagSafe compatibility, but most of the time, I don't really even use the MagSafe on it. Mainly because I just like to have it in my other pocket. I don't really use it too often. And using MagSafe accessories altogether, I don't really use them too often. So for me personally, it wasn't something that I was like, oh wait, this phone doesn't have MagSafe. It was just kind of, that's all I was pretty much hearing on the news about the iPhone 16 not having MagSafe. Now, of course, I think it should, because that would literally cost Apple maybe 10 cents per iPhone. Wouldn't really do anything. It has the room to put MagSafe magnets in the phone, but honestly, I can see why they didn't, and that's because of the product ladder that they have. Most people, probably 95% of people that buy this phone are gonna have a case that is MagSafe compatible. So it really doesn't matter too much if the phone has MagSafe inside it, unless you're gonna use this phone caseless, which honestly, most people are probably not gonna do. All right, and now the cameras, or the camera. Obviously, the iPhone 16e only has one camera, and this is kind of a 2-in-1 camera is what Apple's calling it. So basically, it has 2 camera functions on it, and it is a good camera. I do have to say, it is a good starter camera for most people, what they use their iPhone camera for. But if you are like a content creator or use your iPhone camera a lot and wanna get the most amazing photos and videos off your iPhone, obviously, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is the way to go because of the triple camera system. And for me personally, the super wide camera is what I noticed the most. For me personally, when I need a small vlog clip of me recording myself, or just something that is super wide angle that I need a lot of camera, the 16e doesn't have that. And you can record yourself, but it doesn't look as good, and it doesn't look as natural as the super wide camera on the iPhone 16 Pro. So yeah, the iPhone 16e has a great 2-in-1 camera system, and for most people, it is perfectly fine because they're just gonna snap pictures of their dog, snap pictures of their food for Instagram. That's fine, and it's a good camera for that. But again, for video, having that super ultra wide camera is really, really nice for having just a short, if you want to take a short vlog clip or something like that, which honestly I did notice really, really quickly while using the iPhone 16e. I was kind of disappointed in that, but it is the budget iPhone, so it kind of makes sense why it doesn't have that. So yeah, which iPhone is better for your money? Now, the iPhone 16 Pro Max is literally double the cost of the iPhone 16e. You can get 2 iPhone 16es for the price of 1 iPhone 16 Pro Max. And honestly, I would say that the iPhone 16e is a pretty budget phone. Like for the price, you're getting a lot of the most recent features of the iPhone 16. You're getting Apple Intelligence, you're getting a good camera on there, you're getting a decent screen. The one thing you're not getting physically is obviously the cameras, and you're not getting the camera control button, which for me personally, doesn't really matter. I never use the camera control button on the iPhone 16 Pro or the iPhone 16 Pro Max. I literally wish that didn't even exist. So yeah, for me personally, I do think getting 2 iPhone 16es is more value than getting 1 iPhone 16 Pro Max. And that's mainly because the iPhone 16e is a great phone for most people. But if you make a lot of videos, you need the best camera, you need the biggest screen, you just need those top features. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is a good phone, but again, it is pricey, and you could get 2 iPhone 16es for the price of 1 iPhone 16 Pro Max. So this was a cool experience. I love trying 2 new phones back to back and seeing what it was like going from an iPhone 16 Pro, because again, that is my daily phone, the iPhone 16 Pro, and that was just kind of fun to do. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I'm really curious to see what you guys think, but I'm back to my iPhone 16 Pro.